He 5, running around here just crying. But like I said, when you add in the other complications, it's like, come on, bro, why wouldn't a nigga act like this? Regular kids act like this. Trying to see what they can get away with. So, far as I'm concerned, the nigga he's on pace to be past the people that's his age. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, for a motherfucker to keep on playing like he ain't got no room to cry, this is the age-old conversation of when sometimes this how it go with males. We get the furthest extreme of your mama coddling you, or you get nigga don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, come on, bro. All I'm saying is let's find some balance on that shit. And the only way you can find some balance is to treat each situation differently. You can't be like, here he is with that crying shit again. Because at that point, shit, for all you know, he could be really in pain. And the shit come and go so often to the point like, how many times you done wrote your child off and he was really in fucking pain to the point when he start getting to the point he playing you, it's your fucking fault. Because he can't get your attention normally or naturally. So now he got to play it up. He got to over-exaggerate the shit. And as far as I'm concerned, the shit that he do with her, he gonna do with everybody. I peep that shit. When she come in the room, he move a certain way. And that's normal for kids to do that with whatever parent. But the way that he's moving is the problem now. Because it's like, you're creating that environment, but then you complaining about it. Like, you can't do that. You can't be the furthest extreme of coddling him, all because you don't know how to, you know what I'm saying, necessarily deal with a boy per se. So you just like, I ain't gonna be the one who don't look out for my child. I'm a be extreme. You know what I'm saying? No, don't do that. If anything, it ain't. I'll put it like this: she don't act different with him than she do with any of them. I feel like most black people, cause that's what I'm talking about. I ain't trying to say we worse than anybody or none of that shit, but most black people I done had the opportunity to grow up and see, like, they love the shit out their kids when they kids, like they babies. They start to get into, adolescent, like later adolescent years, teen, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers start seeing you just like they see everybody else. They start seeing you just like they see everybody else. The irritation they have with the stupid shit they feel like other people doing, they got that same irritation for your motherfucking ass. You know what I'm saying? If not more, because they feel like, you know me. You know what I'm saying? You know I don't like that shit. So, as far as I'm concerned, if we, causing some, what's the difference between making somebody be something they possibly, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what most of us done been taught parenting is. You know, passing a shout out to the brothers from the ISUPK. When I go live. Cause they been out here putting in work for the people.
Oh, and the Haitians.
Yep. Why they call the body a beast now, bro? Cause the body I had you doing some shit. You say you want to have a craving of shit. Like I was watching some shit today, bro. That just had me like, yup. I knew it when I said thing is free will for real. Takes a lot. You feel me? And then people in that environment set the rest of the tone. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, we free of bondage, but we ain't free. Free.
I get what you saying, bondage as far as literal chains.
As far as literal chains, but we ain't free. I don't feel like we free. Shit,
Nah, but I'm talking about free will in general. But they got us worrying about being free from other humans.
Oh.
See, when you peep that game, it's like, hold on, fuck that free game you playing. Just like they had us in church teaching us to be scared of ourselves. So when we do start figuring out our true identity, or we do run across our true identity, we'll detest that shit. And then essentially be like Buddy on Star Wars, they'll use you to take out your whole nation. Whether it be from studying your DNA in as many expressions to just shit, letting you do what you naturally do, solve problems, but from a different perspective. bro, they tripping on that though. But I feel like that's the proper solution to get the people though, to let them know like you tripping on freedom from another human being. If you had a true sense of identity, you know what I'm saying? Like understanding your position in this world before you even dealing with the context of you and other humans, like you will recognize for one, you in a body that's a shell, you know what I'm saying? That allows for you to only express yourself in certain ways within this condition. So when you have a motherfucker worrying about getting freedom from another human being, when you know that's it's not even worth chasing. Once you have that understanding of freedom from within, you feel me? Because truthfully, that's your only freedom. Your freedom to experience this shit or not. Because you could tap out. You feel me? You could ignore shit. You could see shit and convince yourself you didn't see that shit. So, it's ways to not experience this shit. You know what I'm saying? And to me, the convincing yourself this shit is like not learning from what you go through. There's levels to that shit. I be telling niggas you understand. Like dudes mistreat women and like really don't have no compassion. It's one thing to not know. You feel me? Then you genuinely, hey bro, what can I do better? And then I see you applying that shit. I know this nigga just didn't know the only game he knew. You know what I'm saying? To make this situation always a pleasant encounter. You gotta lie. Cause some people don't know how to be pleasant to people other than lying. Because they not pleasant people. And a lot of us gotta think of what our kids is going through. You hear me? Think about what our kids is going through as a result of us. My last child has problems in a certain area, and me and his mother was both being asked each other. You feel me? I ain't gonna lie, at certain times I was confused because I was conflicted so much. Like the relationship between me and my siblings got broken down as a result of my relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, but at one point in time, everybody was excited that I was with her. You know what I'm saying? Nobody ever said like, I'm glad you with a sister or nothing like that. But I ain't gonna lie to you, I was intentionally coming back home to my people. You know what I mean? And it never was a thing of me like, shit. My baby mama was to tell you like, I never really was on that relationship shit. Like the closest I got to a relationship with them was shit. I ain't gonna lie, I got engaged to my first child's mother just to prove a point. Like I felt like people ask for stuff that they really don't want. You know what I'm saying? And so, I felt like let me prove this point. They only went bad because I didn't put all my energy into it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't put myself into it. I was just going through the motions. So when you think about that, really did I ever, you know what I'm saying? Did I ever lose the relationship, or did I have self lose the relationships? See what I'm saying? Because I just took myself out of the situation. I just started just going through the motions. And once you do that, like if a person fell in love with somebody else and you doing that, it's like, can you really be mad? Because that ain't the person they chose. So as much as I'm like, shit, I know what my relationship went another direction because I changed. But at least this time, I changed for the better. I changed for the better. I stopped putting energy in the shit that no longer served me. You feel me? And I felt like that relationship no longer served me. It was a relationship no different than how my relationship was with my mother growing up. I'm her child. I do what she tell me to do when she do decide to be bothered with me. Um, I ain't gonna lie, I never forget the day she told me she couldn't play with me no more.
Your daughter?
My mama.
Your mama?
I remember that shit. Like, that was the homie. You gotta think, like, you with your mama, your earliest parts, especially your daddy working and shit. So, I remember my mama, she taught me how to wrestle and everything. She used to wrestle with me and shit. But about like I say like shit, probably like 3, 4. She started telling me she can't wrestle with me no more, and that shit hurt my feelings. Cause all I heard was, I ain't playing with you no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I ain't playing with you no more went to, I don't love you. Like over time of not understanding that conversation, and that I look back on it, that's what happened. The escalation of I ain't playing with you no more and feeling rejected was like, damn, as time went on and I started feeling that shit in more instances, I just associated that shit with like, she don't love me no more. Like, ain't no way you love me, you making me feel like this. And that's why now I look at it, I realize why I can be away from my family versus, other people. Like my older sister was pushed away, but she still, fuck with me. Like, say push me further away, because that's why I struggled to get that shit out, because I still, like, my love never died. Like, it always was times when I was, like, when people have their normal reactions, basically, what I'm trying to say, like, when people get down, they think about their mom and their daddy, or they get happy, they think about their mom and their daddy, you know what I'm saying? I still had those thought processes, you feel me? So I never got to the point that it's just like, I have a disdain for these people, but with me being the youngest one, and them severing ties and having to grow up, getting used to that shit, it's almost like I'm used to being in a situation where I'm not comfortable for real now. Or what most people would consider their comfort zone. For me, uncomfortability is quote unquote comfort. Because I feel like when I'm in discomfort, I'm thinking a lot. Like right now, I'm in pain like a motherfucker. But I think about so much shit when I'm in pain. Like, for one, how to solve my problem. Two, how to, put my mind on different shit while my problem is being resolved. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh man, this life is they trick us into wanting all the sugary type shit that come with life. The shit that just give you that quick sugar rush or whatever to make you feel like you have an experience that you really not. So then when you start understanding what life really is, then you might not even desire this motherfucker no more. I think that's why some people kill themselves. Cause they realize it's not about trying to save everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And some people actually had lives that was dedicated to trying to save other people, only for them to find out, damn, that wasn't what it was about. So did I mislead somebody? You feel me? Like, that's the bruh. That's why I'm so glad, bro. I stepped down when I did and wasn't like most people that were just feeling themselves, want to be seen for anything. But my mama told me some shit at an early age, like, don't just be doing shit just because. You gotta watch how that shit make you look, too. Because if you ever do want to help somebody or be somebody later on in life, if you ruin your image to people, then ain't nobody gonna want to fuck with you. So I'm like, dang. I paid attention to that shit early. I remember being 15, caught myself hanging around niggas that smoke and hustle and shit. My little cousin told my mama, he was like, man, I used to look up to Red. You feel me? I used to look up to Red. And that's all my mama told me. And that shit did something to me though. Like, from then on, I started paying attention to who all looked at me, period. You know what I'm saying? And paid attention to how I was coming off to people. Because I recognized how much I have an effect on people. Versus just thinking you just out this motherfucker by yourself on a whim. You feel me? Like, I can figure it out. I feel like, bro, we really out this bitch like cells of the body, for real. Like, are you the inflamed cells that's causing the body sickness, or you the alkaline cells? You feel me? That's bringing life to the rest of the body. And that don't require you to tell them about no little story, you know what I'm saying, in order for them to, get the point. Because even if you do tell them a story, recognize that these stories are really just moral stories. So that would be the point for you to get the moral of the story, not for you to make sure you know the cat in the hat name. Just saying. And I ain't no jab at nobody because to me, I feel like once you start paying attention to everybody else, you get distracted from yourself. I don't give a damn if it was people that done died before. Once you start paying too much attention to everybody else, you start losing sight of yourself. And I used to wonder though, I'm gonna say this too though, I used to wonder why I used to, like, when people pass or, you know, before people pass, I used to feel their energy and feel the need to connect with these people. But that's really what we supposed to do. Like with our loved ones, as well as people in general that, you know, need that spiritual assistance in the next life. Not to mention they can help us. Appreciate y'all coming in, hitting that like button, because you know they trying to ban the positive man. But we still gonna stand. Shout out to the ISUPK, boots on the ground. Out there showing love to my people, them Haitians, our people. You feel me? Man, shout out to the Haitians, man. Out there making a way for themselves and doing what they got to do, man. I respect your struggle. And no matter what they talking about, we love you. We remember how your ancestors, how you, being the returning ancestors, was there for us when we was going through what we was going through. We know we are one. I feel like we supposed to be protesting and let them in, bruh. For real. Protesting and let them in. Otherwise, them niggas gonna be just like everybody else when they get in, though. They're gonna be ready to scrap. We're gonna have another civil war going on. But remember, we're a collective of experiences, so there's no wonder that the U.S. keep collecting these repeated experiences like a controlled adversary, you know what I'm saying? Like, keep this environment in situated in such a way to where those that come in will have no choice but to act in this manner. And will see themselves separate from other people. Including those that are really their own. Including those that are truly their own. I stay on some alfalfa. Let me share this link, family. Bear with me. Share this link one time. Not so forgiving to no one. I appreciate y'all stopping through, man. I know I'm usually a lot more talkative, but with the changing weather, experiencing some pain in my face and shit, my jaw. So I'm a little limited, but not limited in my thinking. Because as I stated earlier, it's through the pain I'm able to gain clarity on a lot of things, man. Especially in the fact that I love you as myself and there ain't nothing you can do about it. As we are one. The folk can vote. Let me see what they talking about. Let me see what they talking about. Pull up a chair. Come over here to the round table. We about to break it all down. Say what? We just broke bread right now.